What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic day. It's like Christmas in August. 49ers, Chargers, joint practice. Let's hit this intro and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Last Second Sports. We are giving you our take down to the last second. That's right, it's joint practice time. Chargers, 49ers, and things are already kicking off. So let's get right to it. We are bringing on our folks that are at practice, can bring us into everything. And here we go. Chargers, 49ers, joint practice is underway. Look at this. Gosh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Demarcus Robinson and Kaylan Black are back in practice, as are Keon White. This is pretty dang big. Kaylan Black finally back at practice. This is exactly what we needed to see. This was Did a show with Coach last night. And one of the things that I wanted figured out the most was the 49ers run game. Not only defensively, can they stop the run consistently, but can they run the ball consistently? And it's easy to say, well, it was a bunch of 49er backup running backs. Of course, they should be fine running the football. The problem with that is that at the time, none of our running backs that were ahead of those guys were actually healthy. So Kaylan Black coming back is huge. And I think this joint practice is massive for him. That's one of the biggest things I wanted to see was Jordan James, Kaylan Black getting some work in the preseason, whether that's through joint practice or preseason itself, just getting a live look against another team. Now, in joint practice, they don't fully tackle, so it's not quite the same, but it's still a high-level competition. It's against somebody else. A lot of competitive nature going on, different schemes, different looks, different, just a different atmosphere because they're in LA. So for me, this is huge for Kaylan Black, for sure. This is huge. Definitely something that is needed. And there we go. It's a big boy, huh? But looking good in pads. Dom Pooney, McCaffrey, Juszczyk, Bosa, White. White is back. I thought he said White is back. Hold on a second. Yeah, he said White's back. So I don't know. Little difference there. But no Rourke, no Mustafa. Oh, here we go. Are still planning to sign Terrion Arnold, but are working through the timing, and it will take a while, sources tell me. Arnold to be placed on the commissioner's exempt list when he signs, meaning he'd be ineligible to play or practice. Ooh. Well, that puts a monkey wrench into things, yeah. Is that a substation back there? I thought they were in LA. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? This is why the Chargers have so many injuries. What's going on? Chargers have a lot of injuries too. Oh, there we go. Good old Lombardi, right? Making sure that he highlights old Trey Lance with the Chargers. That's funny. That is funny. There's Herbert next to him. You know, why highlight their starting quarterback like you did with Cam Ward last week when you can really stir things up with 49er fans and show Trey Lance, huh? Grant's thinking like I am. Chargers have so many injuries because why? That's funny. Oh, here we go. Some more oh, it's not like a full substation. It's just wires running by. Close enough. It looked really good in that picture, though. I did add Chargers people to this as well. So hopefully we get some good updates from the Chargers side. I do like to see both sides of the house here. Former 49ers coach Jim Harbaugh and why he thinks 49ers Kyle is a good coach. Hold on a second. Isn't that off of Grant's question? That's funny. Hold on a second. That is funny. So Grant asked the question and Lombardi throws it out there. Lombardi hardly ever asks questions. Like, do your own job, dude. Could be 2 weeks. Okay. Let's listen to let's actually find it from the source who actually asked the question and give them credit for it, huh? Let's turn this up. Get this turned up. So he asked Harbaugh why Shanahan's a good coach.
What makes Kyle Shanahan a good head coach? What do you admire about his work?
Proof's in the pudding. Yeah, it's just right there. It's just been just always really, they're always just really good, you know? And
can you guys hear that, by the way? Can you guys hear that? Just want to make sure. Can you guys hear that?
if something isn't, then it gets fixed ASAP. You know, could be the next week, could be 2 weeks, but it's not much further past that. And it's never been consecutive years. You know,
it is really low, by the way.
I think it's a really good way to judge.
It's hard for me to hear it.
Coaches.
All right, let's see. Hold on a second. Let's see see if we can hear it.
It's proof's in the pudding. You know, it's just right there. It's just been just always really, they're always just really.
Not good. Really, it's low.
And if something isn't, then it gets fixed ASAP. You know, could be the next week, could be 2 weeks, but it's not much further past that. And
can you just not hear it, or is it low? If it's low, I apologize. I can't fix the volume on their end. Like, it's up all the way, and it's up all the way here. Okay, so you guys can hear. All right, so let's do it again.
Proof's in the pudding. You know, it's just right there. It's just been just always really, they're always just really good, you know? And if something isn't, then it gets fixed ASAP. You know, could be the next week, could be 2 weeks, but it's not much further past that. And it's never been consecutive years, you know? So I think it's a really good way to judge.
So he was asked why Shanahan is a good coach. For those of you that struggled hearing it, he said, well, it's not, you know, he fixes things quickly. Things don't tend to be an issue for multiple weeks, or, you know, it's certainly not back-to-back seasons. If something's an issue, he gets it rectified pretty quickly. Sounds pretty generic. Also, I doubt it. I don't know that Harbaugh's that type of guy, but it almost seems like a shot at the 49ers. Not at Shanahan. I want to be clear, not at Shanahan. I think he does respect Shanahan. But remember, when he was here, he had a down season and he never had a losing season. And so it's like, yeah, well, listen, this guy's multiple losing seasons, but at least not back to back, right, guys? Don't get fired. Don't get as long as it's not back to back, you shouldn't get fired. But I was fired. I had a bad season, and it wasn't even a losing season. So there's that. So that's the way it came across to me. I don't know. To Marcus Robinson now at the practice field. Here we go. There we go. Some of these Chargers guys are posting. This is good. It's always hard to find who the right Chargers guys are. But I think we've got them. Sprained foot. Gosh, man. Coleman is their Ricky Pearsall. It's too bad. What? All right. Well, listen, I'm not here for their joint practice, so let me edit this list. Let me edit the list here. Get him out of here. I don't need it. Okay, I think I got what I need. Justin Herbert throws. That's interesting that their quarterbacks wear the yellow jerseys. Those are so ugly. Gosh, those are disgusting. Chargers not practicing. Rashawn Slater, Akeem Mesidor, Dante Jackson, Trey Harris, Luke Grimm, and Tarheeb Still. So they're missing a couple corners. Pass rusher, their left tackle. Well, that evens things out with Bosa, I guess. And then one of their starting receivers, it sounds like. So both teams down some players in this joint practice, that's for sure. That's all right, though. That's all right. Yeah, man, Jim won. Jim definitely won. You don't think he has any grudge against Jed? I don't know. I would disagree with that. Jed did choose to go with the GM over him, right? He chose Balky over him. So there's that part. Was it the biggest choke job though for the 49ers against the Ravens? I mean, they were getting their butts whooped and then came all the way back. I think choking is having a lead and then losing the lead, I would say. That's just me. Keeping the Faith says, what's up, Keeping the Faith? Says, love seeing Black is back. I wonder if they give him the Mike Evans treatment or hold him out of team drills. I don't know. I hope not. He's in pads, He's in pads. So hopefully it pans out. No, I don't think Trey is Harbaugh's Kaepernick 2.0. I don't think he's trying to replace Justin Herbert. I think that would be crazy. Well, one would say choking might be not knowing the overtime rules, yes. Kyle can tell if you got it in one practice for sure. For sure. Maybe that's what he should do. He should just bring rookies out for practice and he would know if they're going to be good or not. Okay. I mean, here's the thing, Lava. Like, I hear you. But again, this goes back to the consistency conversation, right? When I was having with Purdy, when people are like, well, Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford are turnover machines. Okay, but their interception rate in their career and over the last few years has been lower than Brock Purdy's. So if they are turnover machines, then what does that make Brock Purdy? Let's be consistent. If we're gonna call Harbaugh a choke job for losing in the Super Bowl, one in which that they were down massively in, then what does that make Kyle Shanahan? This is not my words. I'm not saying he's a choke job. I'm just simply saying if Harbaugh's a choke job, then Shanahan obviously is a choke artist. So do you have any bold predictions for the year? Bold predictions. Hmm. Gosh, bold predictions. Well, I guess everybody's definition of bold is a little bit different. I would say hmm. Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to sit on this one. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not yet. I think I've thrown a couple of them out, maybe throughout the off season, but off the top of my head right now, I can't really think that through. Harbaugh says he wants to shake Brock Purdy's hand. Jim Harbaugh is leaning on Kyle Shanahan to introduce him to Brock Purdy before or after practice today. He wants to meet Brock Purdy, he said. Harbaugh's a funny guy, man. Jesse, who are you most intrigued to hear about this practice? What they did and how they played? Oh, yeah, for sure. So, hold on a second. Actually, I want to see something. It's one player I didn't see on the out list or the in list. Okay, where's CJ West? Right? He was out. Anybody say anything about CJ West? Nobody said he's out or in. Kalen Black, obviously. Him being back, this is huge. This is huge. I want to hear about Kalen Black. I want to hear about our corners, how they do in this practice against who I consider to be a top quarterback in this league, top 6-ish quarterback in this league. I want to hear if our defensive line can continue to get pressure. That's what I want to hear. I know we're without Bosa, but they're without Rashawn Slater, so all is fair in love and war. So that would probably be what I would like to see. But specifically the defensive tackle battle for sure. So I would say the back end of the defensive tackles, there's a fight to make this team. Back end of wide receivers, how do the corners hold up? And then Kalen Black specifically. If there's one person, it would be Kalen Black for sure. For sure. He just hasn't been there. So. Okay, Keon White's out there. You know who's not out there? I'm not seeing CJ West. Telling you, man. I don't know. Biggest choke job by far. That team was far more talented than the Ravens. Better O-line, D-line, running back, tight ends, linebackers, and they lost to an all-time QB coach. I guess. I mean, I think going against your brother. Well, listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't have won that Super Bowl. I'm not trying to take up for Harbaugh. I'm just saying if you're gonna call Harbaugh a choke artist, then just keep it fair across the board. That's all I'm saying. If one's a choke artist, then the other one is too. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know. I mean, I would say that Ray Lewis and Suggs were pretty damn good. You know, I'd say Ed Reed was pretty damn good. So I think they had a team. They had the better wide receivers, probably. They had a better quarterback. Special teams whooped our ass. So, there's that. Line blocking for Justin Herbert, starting 11 on 11s. Cole Strange, Tyler Biotish, Coyote Awasika, Trey Pipkins, and Joe Altz. Yeah, we should be able to do some damage in the middle of that line there. That's the hope, anyways. Yeah, he's back, man. He's back. Today, he's there. He's there. I promise. He's there. Black and white are both back at practice. They're both there. There you go. Who was it that was the muscle hamster? Played for Tampa, I think. What was his name? Muscle hamster. You guys remember that? Anyways, built similar, right? No, CMC's not back. Yeah, but see, why? Why though? Right? What is there to know about CJ West? He's on the team for sure, and most likely in the top 3 of the rotation. That's why he didn't play in the first preseason game. I understand that, B Diddy, but like for me, why? What has he done to actually earn that spot? That is my question. I'm not debating that. If that's what the team has decided, great. I just don't know why. Like the 49ers have a lot of good defensive tackles, including, by the way, guys that they brought on this offseason and drafted that are UDFA guys, drafted guys, what have you, that have all played really well through training camp and played really well in the preseason game. CJ West, why is he a lock? What has he done to earn that spot other than be drafted high last year? Like, truly. What am I missing? Why should he be a lock over those other guys? Because he didn't play in the preseason game. It really doesn't matter why. Collins is supposed to be a starter. He played. Right? Every other defensive tackle outside of Osa Odigizua played. So is it just CJ West and Osa Odigizua, or just they don't got to compete? I mean, Osa, I understand, but I don't understand the CJ West. Now he's injured, and we're watching a lot of other defensive tackles come out and do good thing after good thing after good thing. I don't understand why he has been given this roster spot magically. I don't understand it. Doug Martin, there we go. Muscle hamster, Doug Martin. There we go. I knew you guys would have me. The muscle hamster. Are the Chargers DBs better than Titans? I want to see Stribling go against some good DBs. Yeah, I would say so. They're just going to be better coached overall. I mean, although they have a new defensive coordinator. So there is that. Hey, maybe that's true. Yeah, he did. He passed. That's right. That is true. That's true. Ev, this is the thing. Universally, CJ West was the most popular draft pick last year. I don't know. I can't think of one person that didn't like the CJ West draft pick. So this is not because I don't like CJ West. This is just me trying to understand what has he done to for sure earn a roster spot on this team? More people are against keeping Collins even than CJ West. Collins was better than CJ West last year. Collins actually played in the preseason game. Oh, really? Okay, Joseph. Well, you're one of the few. I'll tell you that. CJ West was, I thought, pretty universally liked. So, Lombardi was hyping CJ West with that quote he said last year. I like to abuse quarterbacks and didn't abuse a single quarterback. Exactly. Okay. He had a broken hand. Either way, he didn't show the way that we had hoped. All right. I'm not down and saying CJ West can't be a good player. I'm simply saying, based off of what we saw last year, which wasn't a lot, based off of the injury right now and not playing in preseason week 1 and how deep the defensive tackle room is, why is he gifted this roster spot? But see, I disagree with this. Grant said he was special. I disagree with that. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. It is not full time for me right now. What has Gifford done to be a starting linebacker? I'm not disagreeing with that either. I'm definitely not gonna cape for Luke Gifford. That's not gonna happen. That's certainly not gonna happen. Loading up in Salt Lake and going back to Arizona. Nice, Eddie D. Bet that drive has been beautiful for you. If they trade for Vita Vea, suddenly DT looks pretty sweet with him and Odigizua. No, I agree. I think defensive tackle looks pretty decent right now. You know, it's a good room. You draft for if you trade for Vita Vea though, next to Odigizua, you have probably the second best room in the NFL behind the Seahawks. So. Need to get back to the 2019 formula, run the ball, and have dominant defensive line. I don't know if we would screw ourselves. We would definitely be in a pickle, though, if we traded for Vita Vea and pay him. I mean, you're onto something there. Prophet says, given a roster spot, what has Brendel, Gifford, Colby, Zakel, Nugent done to be on the team? Well, listen, Nugent and Zakel probably aren't making the team. I mean, Zakel was just brought back. The problem is that you listed 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen. You got to keep someone. You got to keep someone. So they're going to be kept. Whether they deserve to be there or not, there's nobody else, unfortunately, better than them. And Gifford, yeah, for sure. I get it. Hot take, the Niners will have less sacks this season than last. No way, dude. No freaking way. No way. No way. James Foster says, I'm not as high on these undrafted defensive linemen. Collins and West made plays last year and have a lot of talent. Collins played so much as a rookie. I think he got worn out. No, I'm not down on Collins. He had a bad game, a bad showing there. But he played pretty well last year. Listen, and I'm not like the guy who normally will crown UDFAs, right? I'm not that guy. But when they play well consistently all through the preseason thus far, all through training camp or whatever, it's like, well, you got to take some notice. You know, it's not like CJ West was drafted so high that he just should continue to earn a spot. And he was drafted by a different regime. You know, I just want the best players. I just want the best players. And I'm not saying CJ West should for sure be cut. And he may come out and play Thursday and play really well, right? I'm just simply saying I don't think he's a guy who should just be given a roster spot, no matter what happens. I don't think he's shown to be that guy yet. Medical card is out for Chargers center Tyler Biadasz, who went down after the defensive tackle Sebastian Valdez fell on his left knee. Oh, gosh. That's not good. Well, that bad interior offensive line just got a lot worse for the Chargers. So there you go. There you go. The one team that competes with the 49ers when it comes to injuries is the Chargers. So there you go. That's too bad. That's too bad. Outside of Vita Vea, what moves would you make to better the team before the season? Really think they need another defensive end really bad, but options are thin. Yeah, options are definitely thin. I don't know. I don't think there's really like a move that has to be made. I don't think there's a move that has to be made. Listen, we have to remember that our first round pick is coming back, hopefully soon, right? In Williams. And there may not be big name defensive ends on this team, but there are certainly some guys that can fill out the rotation. Chargers center Tyler Biadasz just left practice on a cart. He was helped up by two trainers. He smacked the cart when he sat on it. Justin Herbert and others came over to console him. Oh, no. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good, man. Yeah. Yeah, but see, the problem is that when there's players on other teams, that team has to be willing to trade them, you know? That team has to be willing to trade them. And so right now, Jesse Bates is on another team. So there you go. What's up, Papa? What's up? Scuba Pass says the Eagles have manipulated the cap for years. If they want Vita Vea, they will get him. It seems like they don't. No, I don't think they do want him. They've got pretty good defensive tackles. I think they are okay. There you go. There's Von Miller officially signing with the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to be good this year. I got a feeling, man. They've upgraded pretty significantly. I'm curious to see how their season goes. Brando says, I think Collins is just trying to get his legs back. He missed all of OTAs and a week or so of training camp. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I definitely don't disagree with that. Yeah. Center Tyler Biadasz. That hurts. That hurts. I don't know if they're a better franchise than the Niners overall. Let's not jump off the deep end. I think they might be a better team this year, but come on. Come on. It's funny because I thought it'd be like a controversial take to say the Cowboys were going to be like they're my team to make the NFC Championship this year, one of my teams. And but not a lot of people are actually pushing back on that, which is crazy. I mean, the Cowboys always find a way to just ruin it somehow. And I've not once throughout all these years of watching them just flub all over the place, been a guy who thought the Cowboys were going to actually do something. This is the first time where I'm like, yeah, I think it's different. I think it's different this year. I could be wrong. I hope I am, but I feel like they're pretty good. I feel like they're pretty good. Yeah, that's big, man. They're starting center out. Ugh. Ministry class. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Did they draft a center round 2? All right, well, there we go. Jesse, you'll lose fans saying the Cowboys are better than the Niners. Now you're getting personal. No, listen, I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. But they do seem like they got a pretty good team this year. No way, man. Ehrenberg's been here for a long time. He's been here for a long time. He's a necessary evil for this chat, I'm telling you. He's a necessary evil. He's funny too. I'm sorry. After in that post game, the way he's like got a permanent non-ban on this channel after the way he made me laugh after that post game last week at the end of the post game. Yeah. Joseph would have to do some things to get really banned from this chat at this point. So the shock factor would have to be pretty high. Oh, man. Jake Slaughter will play center after all. Well, it sounds like they were kind of competing there. So there you go. They got him. Ehrenberg's just protecting his trees, man. Just protecting his trees. I'm here in Dallas and listen about them on the radio a lot, and the vibes seem high. Not going to lie. Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, to be fair, the Cowboys are always overhyped year in and year out. Okay, so there is that. But at the same time, it does feel a little different this year for whatever reason. It does feel a little different. So. Joseph would have to talk bad about Herbert or Oregon players to get banned. That's funny. No, I don't even think that would do it. Now, Josh Allen, listen, buddy. We draw the line, okay? You say one bad word about Josh Allen, you're getting booted, bud. All right? You're getting booted. Who missed 11 field goals? Oh, Moody? Yeah, dude. It's over for Moody. It sucks, man. It sucks, but it's the way it goes for kickers. Oh, here we go. Justin Herbert and his receivers putting on a show against the 49ers defense. Big step up in competition scheme from the practice against Cam Ward and the Titans last week. Here we go. Justin Herbert putting on a show. I was excited to see this. I wanted to see 49ers writers watch Justin Herbert because there are a lot of people in the 49ers community that are just so convinced Brock Purdy is better than Justin Herbert. And I'm like, all right, I just want you to see it in person. Because some of them, Grant and I have a show later. So I'm going to ask him about this. I've heard him and Larry, who I've got a show with on Thursday, say that Purdy's better than Herbert. So, well, now you're going to see you're going to see it in person. You're going to see the real deal in person. So let's see. And maybe they come away thinking the same thing. That's a possibility. I don't know. But either way, what does this mean for 49er football? Exactly what Vic says here. It's a big step up in competition. Now, one thing I wanted to see was this secondary. They're going to do multiple 11-on-11s, all right? And it's still very early in practice. But you kind of do want to see them get their butt whooped a little bit, right? Bring them back down to earth. So I think this is a good thing. I think this is a good thing for guys like Lenore, maybe some of the young guys like Prysock, what have you. This is good. They'll be fine. And maybe they can bounce back here in a minute and get themselves a pick. You know what I mean? Well, this goes both ways then, right, Rodney? You don't think the Chargers are going to be vanilla? So, okay. So let me get this straight. So we play them in the regular season. So we're not going to compete today because we don't want to show anything. Well, then why even do the joint practice? Come on, guys. Like it's okay. It's okay to concede something every once in a while. All right. It's okay to concede something. But I'm sure, I'm sure that it's just the Chargers are out there giving their level best, giving everything they got schematically that they can throw at the 49ers and trying their hardest. And the Niners are just there to take in the scenery, Why would they're not going to practice hard? Why would they? Now, I'm not saying that schematically they're going to show a lot on either side, but guys, come on. Don't do this. Damn it, Jesse, I do need to fly to LA and chew out the DBs. I'm ready to just give me the green light. Go, man. Go let Lenore know. We need a pick from you, brother. We need a pick from you. We need a pick from Diamador Lenore. Actually, you know who I'd really want to see get a pick today on Herbert is Renardo Green. Be nice for Renardo Green to get on the board with a pick. I think that would actually be really, really cool. If I could choose one DB to get a pick on Herbert today, it'd be Renardo Green, because I think that's like the only thing missing from his game is forcing turnovers. But I think he's a good corner. I think he's a good corner. All right, guys. All right. If you say so. If you say so. I don't know, man. Price Hawk, Price Hawk being a former receiver, I think is so clutch. I think playing receiver and converting to DB is always a good thing. Oh, listen, us 90s babies. Let me be clear, 49ers 559. He says, yo, Jesse, what you said about the Cowboys, it irked me. You know there is still bad blood with them. I agree. All right. However, what I will say is some of that bad blood has subsided a little bit. Us 90s kids, we know. We hate these MFers. Okay. I hate the Cowboys. But I would say that over the last 15 years or so, beating the brakes off of them multiple times in the playoffs and Seattle coming to the division, my hate for Seattle is actually more than it is for Dallas. It is. That's me personally. And I think a lot of people would agree. Actually, let's put that in the chat real quick. What is the one team you guys hate the most? The one team you guys hate the most in the whole NFL, and why? Just one team and a quick why. Philly. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you why it's the Seahawks. I'm gonna tell you why the Packers is a good one too. Packers is a good one. Seattle. It's Seattle for me. It's Seattle for me. Legion of Boom era. Yep. Chiefs, Cowgirls, Seattle. I don't hate the Rams that much for some reason. Same here. I don't know. I get they're in division, but I just feel like, I don't know why. I know they've won Super Bowls. I just don't take them that serious. I don't know why. Like as far as a team that's worth hating. Matt Mayoko, so far it's been an active practice. 49ers rookie Kalen Black in his first day back. Also wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson is back on the field after sitting out a day. Matt Barrows says Kalen Black with a couple of big runs early. He doesn't look like someone who's missed the last couple of weeks. That is great frickin' news. Great news. On the other field, we've got Justin Herbert and his receivers putting on a show against the 49ers defense. Big step up in competition and scheme from the practice against Cam Ward and the Titans last week. Okay, those are the updates. All right. I'll tell you why for me, Patriots. Ooh, Seattle. For me, I'll tell you why it's Seattle more than even the Cowboys now. Obviously, in the 90s, it was the Cowboys. All right. Most hated team was the Cowboys. No question about it. Now it's Seattle. And I will tell you why. Seattle, First of all, I grew up in the Northwest. Okay, so you gotta remember back in my day, before streaming and all these other things were a thing, you could watch games on Fox, games on what was it, CBS, I think. AFC teams were always on Channel 6, which was like CBS, and NFC teams were always on Channel 13, Fox. All right. So it was basically either the 49ers or the Cowboys on Fox. That was the game you were going to get. And then you were going to get like the Raiders and Seahawks or something. Usually the Seahawks on Channel 6. Then these stupid Seahawks want to come over to the NFC and be a part of the NFC West. And all of a sudden, I can't watch my Niner games because Seattle's showing up on Fox every damn week. All right. So that was number one. That was straw number one. Then you get that Legion of Boom era, which was absolutely disgusting. And really, before that, they make it to the Super Bowl against the Steelers. And out of nowhere, I'm looking at Seattle Seahawks uniforms running all over the place in Portland. Nobody wore a Seahawks uniform, man. Nobody wore a Seahawks uniform. So, I don't know, man. I can't stand these guys. 49ers DBs are not having a great start enjoying practice. They are getting toasted left and right. Chargers quarterbacks are finding the soft spots in the coverage for huge plays. Uh-oh. That's not one, but two people saying it. Not one, but two. Do you guys do this? I'm such a child. All right. I always take the stupid thing. I've done this since I was a kid, but with my pops, which I don't really drink pop, but whatever, sparkling water or energy drink or whatever, I always take this stupid top off and I put it in the drink. And inevitably, you always end up drinking it at some point. And then you have to take it out of your mouth. I don't know why I do that. I've always done it since I was a kid. I still do it out of habit. I almost choked on stream. All right. Anybody else do that? I don't understand it. I don't know why I do that. What? Oh, okay. All right. We're about to go round and round. Joseph, you want to get kicked out of the chat? This might be a way to do it. Somebody said kick you out earlier. This might be the threshold. Okay. We'll get there in a second. Dude, I'm telling you, bandwagon Hawks fans, terrible. Back in your day, I grew up in the 90s, okay? I was born in 83. Since they joined the NFC West, Seattle has beaten us a ton. Plus, seeing Jerry and the Seahawks colors started the hate. Yeah, there was a lot of hate, I'm telling you. All right, guys, oh man. Joseph started it. All right. My kids and I go around and around. You have to remember. So I grew up in Portland, Oregon. I always called it pop. My kids, however, have grown up in Florida. Okay. We moved here when my oldest was just starting kindergarten. So he's like 5 or whatever. My youngest is 4 years old. They're basically Florida kids. They call it soda. I call it pop still, and they make fun of me all the time. What the hell's pop, Dad? What's pop? Dad, what's pop? They don't say hell. What's pop? What's pop? Now I got you guys in here roasting me for calling it pop. I'm just saying. This is how we get kicked out of chats, okay? I can't take that Hawks content creator seriously ever since he was wasted at the meetup with you guys did. Yeah, listen, Brando did get a little sauce. To be fair, his team wasn't playing. Brandon knows his stuff, man. He knows his stuff. Brandon is really, really smart, man. He know Brandon's good. Brandon's really good. So 100.5 passer rating and stats must mean nothing. It's all about the eye test because Brock's top 5 in everything. J Cats. Who's J Cats? I'm going to throw this out there, and this is a take I've had for many years. So this was before Brock was the best at it. So let's not get up in arms. I've got a tweet I can pull up from probably 4 years ago. Said the same thing. Passer rating is probably the most overrated stat of all time. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows how to calculate it. And when there is a calculator you can go do to like calculate somebody's passer rating, legitimately completion percentage is just as important as touchdowns thrown, if not more in some cases. So I think I did it where it was like, I had somebody go 5 of 10 with 5 touchdowns. And then I had somebody go 10 of 10 with 1 touchdown, and their passer rating was like identical. It's like, how is that possible? How is that possible? Here, let's see if I can recreate this real quick. What? Nan? What does that even mean? Oh, cool. You can't even calculate it. Perfect. Even better. This is stupid. Try another website. Gosh. Okay. What's the passer rating? Oh, hold on. My bad. All right, you guys ready? You guys ready for this? Here we go. This is your proof that passer rating is trash. You guys ready for this? Let me remove this. I'm just going to add this real quick for those of you that just love passer rating. All right. Hold on. Hold on. I have to remove this. Come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Share the screen. You guys see that? Okay. Can you guys see that? Okay. Here's a passer rating calculator. You ready? So just run very easy numbers to understand. 5 of 10 passing with 100 yards and 5 touchdowns gets you a rating of 125. 125. Okay. But if I go 10 of 10 with only 1 touchdown, 141.7. So a quarterback that throws 4 less touchdowns, but because he completed 5 more passes out of those 10 attempts, his passer rating is 16 points higher. I think I rest my case. I think I proved that to be stupid. Okay. Let's remove that there. Let's go share screen. Pull this back up, and we are good. Okay. Any other updates? Let me share this here. Kyle Kennard just limped out of practice with the trainer. Man, the Chargers are going down. The 49ers didn't need to pack their own power lines for joint practice. What? 49ers defense might be terrible. The 49ers offense is having to work so much harder than the Chargers offense so far. Kalen Black is running with purpose this morning, broke a couple of big ones. Brock Purdy's also looking really comfortable. Lots of rhythm throws, good timing. 49ers DBs being cooked. That is by 2 different people who said that. So there we go. There we go. Okay. Jimmy says Brandon is arrogant and condescending on the roundtable. Yeah, I don't know. You got. I will say this. I think Brandon. I think Brandon plays it up a little bit for the roundtable. You got to remember, like we're there to represent the fan base. You know. I think Brandon does a good job of playing it up a little bit. I can tell you that in person, Brandon was really a pleasure to be around. And anytime I've done shows with him, pleasure to be around. But I will also say this. I see a lot of myself in him from the standpoint of if I believe something and I feel like I have the things to back it up, I will, I'm going to be pretty staunch on that. If somebody is going against me with an opposing take, I'm going to make sure that they can back that up. And so I think that he's similar in that, you know. Used to only hate the Niners and the Hawks joined him. All right. Rams win it all this year if Stafford is healthy. Rams fan. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy Z's place coming in. Other than you, who you think knows most ball on the roundtable? I think all those guys do. Honestly, man, I think they all do. That's why I respect them so much. I think Jake knows an awful lot. I think Brandon does. Mike, could you imagine covering the Cardinals? Like, you gotta love football if you're covering the Cardinals. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. All right. Well, not a lot of updates. Sounds like the offense is doing okay against their defense, but the 49ers defense is getting absolutely cooked right now. So there's that. The difference is that Jake's an actual fan of the Rams. Actually, there's a lot of differences between him and Lombardi. Number one, Jake's a fan. Lombardi is a reporter. He should not be a fan of the team. That's number one. Number two, Jake gets a lot of inside information. Jake knew weeks before they traded for Garrett that trade was happening. He said post June 1st it was going to happen. It happened almost immediately. He knew when Aaron Donald was retiring. He said Aaron Donald was coming back all before any like weeks or months in some cases before. He knew when Witherspoon was re-signing with the team. Like, he is plugged all the way in, man. He knows, and he gets, I don't know who his sources are, but he gets a lot of inside information. That's number one. Lombardi gets zero inside information. Number two, Jake is an actual fan of the team, so glazing the team is acceptable. He's not a reporter, so very different. I'm pretty confident we lose week 1 versus the Rams, but I'm confident that we make the playoffs. I'm confident we make the playoffs as well. I was confident that they would lose against the Rams, but I got to be honest, man. Puka Nacua might be out, and their left tackle might be out, and that's big. Oh my gosh, dude! Look at the Chargers' injuries. Quentin Johnson tried to come down with a contested catch, but instead came up hobbling. The training staff is working. Oh my gosh, dude. Stop the practice. The Chargers have 3 starters already out in this practice. My goodness sakes. This is not what you want to see. That's terrible. Goodness sakes. You might be the only non-annoying 49er fan on the 49er fan on the planet. Well, I appreciate that. I think a lot of Niner fans think I'm annoying because I just fan a little bit differently, but that's all right. Well, for sure. Once again, I'm not saying he doesn't glaze the team. I don't think I once said that. I just said he is a fan, so he can glaze, but he's plugged in. That is for sure. Outside of the NFC West, what other NFC team do you think will be dominant this year? Ooh, dominant. I don't know that they're. I don't know. There's a dominant team. I think there's some good teams. I think the Cowboys are good. I think the Eagles are good. NFC North is wide open. I don't think there's a dominant. I think there's a lot of good teams. And I don't even know if there's a team in the NFC West that'll be dominant. Like I think the best teams in the NFC are probably in the NFC West, but I don't know that anybody's going to be dominant. Seattle, actually, when you look at Seattle's run last year, they were pretty damn dominant all year round. They were. I'm just looking up something real quick to see if I can add somebody here. Oh, Jason Delgado. Okay. Who's Jason Delgado? Let's follow him. Is it this Jason Delgado? This Jason Delgado? It's this one right here. All right. I saw somebody said Coach Yak. Listen, if they're just ripping videos from someone else, I'm going to give credit to who they're ripping videos from. So there's that. Interception for the Chargers. Who was the quarterback? Looks like Brock. Threw an interception. This is where Tyler was hurt. Oh, that doesn't look good. He got thrown to the ground. Right into his knee. This was also a touchdown, though, by the Chargers. Herbert going bombs away, dude. Damn. That was on Lenore. Holy sh. You guys seeing that? Golly. Ooh. Lenore got cooked. Lad McConkey. Obviously, he would have been down there after the catch. This is the play that he got hurt. Quentin Johnson. Hampton with a good run. What else are we pulling? Okay. So it looks like Brock threw a pick. See this here. Yeah, probably a miscommunication. It looks like he's thrown to the outside shoulder. Receiver is expecting it on the inside shoulder, maybe. But that's a pick for sure. Okay, well, I'm glad we found this Jason guy. He's definitely posting some things for sure. Oh, and is that another one? That's on Stribling. Oh, he just undercut Stribling. Straps, he said. Wow, he ran that route for Stribling. Look at this. Looks like Matt. Maybe it was that Mac throwing to him, Mac Jones. But he ran that route for Stribling. Look at that. Just undercuts him. Wow. Yeah, a little step up in competition, I would say, from the Chargers, yeah. Trey almost threw an interception. He tried. He tried to throw one. What was he throwing to? That's awful. These videos are good though, huh? Whoever Delgado, man, he's good. I like these. This is the one here. Oh, Trey doing something good. Okay. Trey hitting a little out pattern there, it looks like. Hold on. Somebody said Ephesians Priceock got cooked. Hold on a second. Here we go. Gosh, dude, they are cooking right now, dude. The Chargers are cooking us. Get out of here. Ephesians Priceock gets cooked here. Golly, man. Who was that? Okay. Yeah. 49ers defense is okay. We're gonna add Coach Yak to the list because it looks like he's pulling videos from other places. So we're gonna add him. We're gonna add him. You're going on the list, Coach. Putting you in, Coach. Yeah, guys, 49ers. Just. Oh, who was that he hit? Was that Jair Brown? Golly. Oof. Okay. This practice is going a little different for the 49ers. Holy shnikes. Listen, it's one thing I said to Coach. Coach and I were talking. I said, I'm not a fan of the way the 49ers tried to bully the Titans. Unless they come out and do the same thing to the Chargers, who we know the Chargers are a good physical team. So you better come with that same energy. And then I'm okay with them doing what they did to the Titans. That does not seem to be the case right now. Sounds like they're kind of getting bullied a little bit. And they did all that stuff against the Titans. That's great. But dude, you got to do it all the way around. Yeah, tons of injuries in these joint practices, brother, for sure. Your Super Bowl matchup. Super Bowl matchup, and my life depended on it. I would go Rams versus life depended on it. I want to say the Texans, but I just don't have I'll go Texans. Rams, Texans. I'm probably not making it past the Super Bowl if that's the case. Lenore is the third best corner, maybe the fourth. Wow. We'll be fine without Puka and 13 personnel versus San Francisco. Maybe. We'll see. But that would hurt. Might as well just throw in the towel 4-13. No, come on. Ever watch Rombo? He's terrible, delusional fool. No, I don't watch Rombo. Sounds like you're not a fan. And then he says it may be all LA Super Bowl Rams Chargers. No, I don't think the Chargers are a Super Bowl team. I don't think the Chargers are a Super Bowl team. I think they're a good team. They may not even make the playoffs, though, to be honest with you. Golly, guys. You guys seeing these passes? These bombs just all over the place on the 49ers? My goodness. That was the Trey throw. Interception. That was a Trey throw. That was the interception. This was a Justin Herbert throw. My gosh, dude. Just throwing bombs everywhere. Whew. All right. Interesting stuff. Marion Hampton just running people over. The victims so far, Jair Brown and Jaden Duggar. Lots of roars from teammates after each. Marion Hampton keeps trucking 49ers defenders. He is thumping. Yeah, about that. Ooh, that was Duggar. That was Duggar he just knocked down. He said, hit the weight room, young fella. Oh, gosh. Mac Jones just threw an interception. Goodness sakes, guys. We're getting beat up. They are whooping our ass. They're doing to us what we did to the Titans. That's what this sounds like. They've picked off Purdy. They've picked off Mac Jones. Herbert going crazy. Amari and Hampton going crazy. Trey even had a couple throws in there. Like, they are whooping our ass right now. There you go. Red zone periods, another touchdown. I don't know, guys. That's this is a little disconcerting, to be honest with you. Grant's gonna have a field day. Yeah, probably. You're so handsome and smart. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, he and I are actually supposed to go live after this. So, we'll see. I want to be a part of it for sure. I'm very curious to see his thoughts. That's what I like about Grant. He hardly ever tweets about it. Nope, Hampton with a touchdown. He hardly ever tweets about it, but he he saves it, man. He saves it for those YouTube videos. Yeah, I think so. I think he does. I think Grant still does Collins. Goodness sakes, man. You know what's funny is for the show with Grant, I made a thumbnail and it says cooked on it. And I figured, all right, that's universal. It can go either way. If the 49ers cooked or if the Chargers cooked, can use that thumbnail. Yeah, I'll be using it all right. Unfortunately, not for not for the reason that I had hoped for. Oh, man. A lot of stuff, man. How did Grant get a press pass? They must hate him. He works for Sports Illustrated, man. Sports Illustrated has a press pass and he works for him, but There you go. Well, glad it's practice for sure. Told you, man, I'm excited to see how all these riders, Lombardi, even Grant, Larry, I'm talking about how Herbert ain't shit. They got to see it up close and personal. I want to know what their thoughts actually are after this practice. Unfortunately, we're not going to hear it from Lombardi. But Grant and I do a show. That's definitely going to be a conversation. Now you saw it up close and personal. You tell me. Larry, we got a show Thursday. I'll be talking to you about this one, brother. I'll be talking to you about this one. I want to know. Oh, yeah, they got David Njoku. That was a Trey Lance touchdown. They got David Njoku. I forgot about that. They got some decent tight ends over there. No, I haven't tried. It is for the NFL. Actually, press pass is not hard. If I wanted to go to like the Super Bowl or the draft, it's actually pretty easy to get a press pass. The combine, Senior Bowl is the easiest thing ever. You could apply. Everybody could apply for that. It's actually pretty easy to get an NFL press pass, but getting a team pass is very, very hard. Like getting in with a team to get to practice. But I live across the country, man. No, I wouldn't apply. Plus, I don't want to do the dog and pony show, man. I don't want to be in the 49ers back pocket or feel like I'm in the back pocket. Like, you guys have to understand. You have to understand that they have a PR team, all right? And when things are said on people's personal platforms about the team that they don't like, their guys will reach out. Like their people will reach out and be like, yo, can you alter this or take this down or change that? Like, they legitimately try to keep these reporters in their back pocket. And a lot of them will oblige. Like, they don't want bad press about their team. And I'd be like, this is who? Yeah, go fuck yourself. Absolutely not. 0% chance. Take my press pass. Like, that's the way that conversation would go. So no, I don't even want to. I don't even want to be in that position where I feel like I got to compromise my personal opinion for the 49ers. Golly, man. They are just belt to ass right now on our Niners. What is going on? Defense is getting hooked left and frickin' right, man. If they paid you enough to replace your job, you would. All right. Okay. Well, I didn't say there's not a price. I don't know. I just, that's not the way it would be for me. Yo, Jesse, it's OG 49ers 559. What's up, man? Is there a way to see slow motion on how Lenore got cooked and what coverages they were in? I don't know on that one. Let's see. I don't think so. With practice, it's going to be hard to see. Golly, dude. That was one TD. No, it's impossible to see the coverage that they're in, man. It just looks to me like that's Lenore, right? I mean, that looks like Lenore. I could be wrong. Yeah, that's Lenore. That's a number 2. Yeah. But all I know, man, is deep pat. That's 3 bombs, bro, on our secondary. 3 bombs on our secondary. Huh. So I've got literally 49ers riders in here. 49ers writers are also saying the same thing. Yes, that guy is at the training camp and he's posting Chargers highlights. However, we do know he posted a Brock Purdy interception. We do know he posted a Mac Jones interception. He posted a guy running a route for Stribling. He's posted 3 long bombs for the Chargers. He's posted Amarian Hampton trucking 2 of our defenders. And we also know that our own reporters, who have not said much, probably for a reason, have said things like DBs are not having a great start to joint practice. They are getting toasted left and right. Chargers quarterbacks are finding the soft spots and coverages for huge plays. Gosh, Trey's even completed a few against us. Oh my gosh. Ooh, who was that? I haven't even seen that one. Goodness sakes. Justin Herbert and his receivers putting on a show against the 49ers defense. So our own reporters are saying it. This isn't like they're taking clips out of context. It sounds like our own reporters are saying it. Obviously, we're watching it happen with our own eyes. Yeah, the 49ers are getting their asses beat right now, is what it sounds like and looks like. Yeah, there we go. Vic Topher, 49ers. Hampton has trucked a couple defenders. Herbert throwing dimes across his body, and the Chargers just scored on 3 straight red zone passes. Throw in the damn towel. This is a reporter for the 49ers that is not normally this colorful. There we go. Dejon Stribling with a pair of TDs in the red zone. This is his first. Okay, good. At least we're getting some good red zone work, right? But it doesn't sound like 11 on 11s went too well for the 49ers offense, unfortunately. Kalen Black had a good couple runs, it sounds like. Red zone, it looks like. And this is something that's been pretty consistent for the 49ers, by the way, all training camp. Red zone work, man. Red zone work's been really good. So that's something that is continuing to work on a day that doesn't seem to be going the 49ers way. That's a positive. But yeah. Yeah. It's oh, this is the same one that we just watched. Yeah, guys. This is the Chargers' day, unfortunately. This is the Chargers' day, unfortunately. Jimmy Z says, how come more OCs don't call games from the press box? It seems that view would be much easier to dissect the game and more effective. I agree with this, by the way. I do think OC should be in the box. And DCs for that matter. Honestly, I agree with this. Vita Vea just a name and not worth $30 million in my opinion. I don't know about that. I think Vita Vea is a hell of a player, brother. Mike Evans just got his left foot and ankle wrapped in ice. Looks like his practice is done for the day. That's not good. But at least he's not getting carted off the field, right? But that's not good. I don't disagree with this. I don't, first of all, I don't think they're frauds. Okay. You got a good quarterback, got a good coach. They're going to struggle to make the playoffs, in my opinion. They are. But to watch them put belt's ass on the 49ers today, that's not, ugh. He's an aggregator. He takes content from other people and posts it. So there's that. In fact, I'm going to remove him from the list because we found the guy that he's aggregating from. So Looks like practice might be winding down, yeah? Looks like practice might be winding down. So that's good. You could tell Greg Roman led Harbaugh offense versus McDaniel led offense for sure. There was nothing to prove when it came to Herbert and Purdy. It's that there should. First of all, this wouldn't have done it one practice, but there's nothing to prove. Herbert's better than Purdy. He just is. I'm sorry. I get it, and a lot of people weren't convinced, but they're all there watching firsthand now. You know what I mean? Exactly. Should have never been a discussion. Can't wait for Grant, Larry, and Coach and Wayne Breezy about today. Yeah, for sure. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Listen, I'm supposed to go on with Grant. I'm going to go on with Larry on Thursday, and I'm going to bring this topic up. I'm bringing up the Herbert Purdy topic. You know what I mean? I'm for sure doing it. So. Because both of them have said that they think Purdy's better. So. Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, I think that might be it, guys. I think practice might be about wrapped. So here we go. In what way? In what way? I mean, I'm not saying he's above criticism, but he's not better. Herbert's not better than Herbert. He's not. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. It's just, it's not a discussion. It shouldn't be a discussion. I love the show, Jesse, but I think it's a bit annoying that lately y'all been slandering. Who am I slandering? Well, slander's a long word, a big word. Who am I slandering? Making a false spoken statement that hurts a person's good name and reputation. Okay. So I just said Grant said that he thinks Purdy's better than Herbert. He and I are doing a show later. I'm going to talk about it. Larry and I are doing a show Thursday. He also thinks that Purdy's better than Herbert. So that's what I said. So I'm bringing that up. Who am I slandering? Even when somebody says Lombardi's name like this, I always say Lombardi in the middle of the sentence. I don't say Glazebardi or whatever. So I guess I don't. Slander. Making false spoken statements. The only thing that I've said about Lombardi is that I would love to debate him on a Purdy topic, and that I think I would cook him. I don't know what's false about that. And then what other content creators have I said anything even remotely negative about? Go get Jesse Bates for crying out loud. And even the funny thing is that even the things that I say about Lombardi, I always say the same thing. Go watch Lombardi. Go watch all content creators. Even the ones that have said don't watch Jesse or don't watch Grant or don't watch whoever. There's a lot of people out there that do content that have said don't watch me in particular. I've never once said that about anybody. I never would say that about anybody. I think that's Bush League, but I'm slandering people. Got it. Stop. We view QBs very differently. I think Hurts and Darnold are the best. Yeah, well, you're a quarterbacks win guy. That's fine. That's totally fine. Quarterbacks win guy. That's fine. But we talk about Brock like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it today. I'm not. I've done it a million times. I've said what I had to say. I'm not gonna talk about quarterbacks that are not on the same level as if they are. I'm just not. Justin Herbert not playing well in the playoffs is keeping him from being mentioned with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. It is not bringing him back to the pack of Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield. You understand me? Like, that's what's keeping him at like 6 and 7 overall and not top 3 or 4 overall. If he started lighting it up in the playoffs, we'd be talking about him like we do the elite of the elite quarterbacks. That's what him not winning in the playoffs is keeping him out of the elite conversation. It's not running him to the middle of the pack or outside of the top 10. These are not the same. Yeah, I think practice might be over, y'all. Maybe. Yeah, Marion Hampton, crushed it. During one practice today, the 49ers Chargers, Tyler Biadasz, Kyle Kennard, and Quentin Johnson all were injured for the Chargers. And then we lost Mike Evans, it sounds like, to an ankle injury. Sounds like the 3 players, one of them at least was carted off, and that was Tyler Biadasz, and he seems pretty seriously hurt. The other 2 guys, it sounds like, walked off under their own power. Mike Evans, it doesn't sound like left the field, which is a good thing. He's got the ankle injury, but I doubt it's serious. At least I hope it's not. But I I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. We'll wait. Keon White was in pads to start practice, but took them off about an hour in and did not do any team stuff as he works. So looks like White didn't really participate too much either. Let's see who else. Oh, positive out of today. Keon Black got some good burn, and it sounds like he was pretty good. Stribling was good in the red zone periods. It's about all the positives that I've taken so far from the practices for the 49ers. So there we go. Let me hit this real quick. Prize Picks, use promo code HMA to get $150. If you are a new user and you play $5 and you win, you get $150 as well to play with. Links in the description. Check them out, or use promo code HMA if you're signing up on your app. It's as simple as picking 2 or more players to go more or less. Here is my picks for week 1, $20 to win 85. I've got Matthew Stafford throwing for more than 264.5 passing yards. I've got Christian McCaffrey scoring a touchdown week 1, and I've got Brock Purdy not throwing an interception. If those 3 things hit, I am a big winner. If you are new to Prize Picks, you play that $5, I highly recommend only picking 2 players. Go with players you are confident in. Choose more or less, get your 150, and then have some fun. Make sure you check them out. You can tail me or you can fade me, but either way, use promo code HMA. All right. Just another week lost to an ankle for Evans. This is becoming a theme. Minor injuries just continuously keep him out. Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is he's just older, and these injuries happen, unfortunately. And it's hard to stay healthy. It may not be the big injury, and that's kind of what it's been the last couple of years. He did break his collarbone last year, but it's like a nagging injury here, hamstring there, whatever. Those are the types of things. So Hold on. What did? Oh, I got a group chat going on. They're talking about the Niners in there. I wanted to see what their thoughts were. Jimmy Z says, roundtable tonight. Thoughts on Ty Simpson's first game? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk all about it. I'm curious to see how that goes. Roundtable is tonight. I need you 49er fans to join in there. Roundtable Sports, NFC West Roundtable. Just type that in. Make sure you're there every Tuesday and Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about Ty Simpson, so I'm not going to get too deep into that one. But I'll just say he played well. He did well. He did well. For sure. Oh, it's not done. Good. Good. It's not done. They're still cooking us. That's great. I thought the butt whooping was done. It continues, unfortunately. Really well, man. I'm telling you, we pull good views over there. We got a good thing going on Roundtable Sports. I'm enjoying it a lot, actually. Yeah, luckily this one wasn't a deep shot, but hell, if Lampkin gets cut, the Chargers might need him. They just lost their center today. So many of these deep passes would be sacks, still sucks, but when you actually game, I'm not worried about it. Okay. But again, these things don't get reported in training camp at all. So, the 49ers are hitting deep passes. You don't hear the caveat, it could have been a sack or would have been a sack. You know what I mean? The secondary either holds up or it doesn't. And it's just not holding up right now, unfortunately. I agree with you. Listen, it's practice. It's not the end of the world. I honestly, you want to know the most disappointing thing for me? The most disappointing thing for me is that the 49ers came out like bullies against the Titans. They were starting fights. They were doing this. They were doing that. They were at their home field against what we know is a bad team. And I said, all right, I just want to see. Oh, there we go. Fred Warner got the Njoku fumble. There we go. Nice. There we go. I love it. And I feel like the 49ers got bullied, man. Oof. That was a great pass. That was a great pass to Njoku. And then Fred Warner, man, nice punch out. He's getting good at that, isn't he? He's getting really, really good at that. Oop. He's getting really good at that. Like Buddy Peanut Tillman for the Bears good at it. He's getting really good at that peanut punch. But yeah, the 49ers clearly didn't have that same energy for the Chargers. And Marion Hampton literally putting Jair Brown and Jaden Duggar on their butts. That's what I'm talking about. You can't play bully ball against the Titans and then come in here and be like, As one observer noted, August is when the Chargers dominate. Yeah, well, they're dominating today, that's for sure. They seem to make the playoffs, so. You my guy, but talent has to achieve a level of success at some point. Like one good playoff game, let alone a win from Herbert, is unreasonable. Yeah, listen, I got you. I'm not trying to defend Herbert from a standpoint of his playoff performances. He has not played well in the playoffs. There's zero argument from me on that one. But again, him not playing well in the playoffs does not then mean he is back here, right? It's why he's top 6 or 7. If he does play well in the playoffs, we're talking about a guy who's top 3 or 4 in the NFL. Like, that's the only thing missing from his game. But again, the other quarterback that we're comparing him to has not won a Super Bowl either and hasn't exactly lit it up in the playoffs. Winning is one thing, but lighting it up is a whole nother. Okay. And if we're going to do that, then again, Jalen Hurts deserves to be way up people's lists. No, I don't see anybody in here going, oh, Jalen Hurts is getting the short end of the stick when everybody ranked him at 17. Not a single person did that. Why? He's been phenomenal in the playoffs. Not just okay, but the course of his playoff career, he's been phenomenal. He was phenomenal in 2 Super Bowls and he won a Super Bowl. But nobody does that for Herbert. I don't see anybody in here defending Herbert at the same pace. I mean, not Herbert, Hurts. I don't see anybody in here defending Hurts at the same pace that they are Purdy. One of them's played lights out, has lights out statistics in the playoffs, and has a Super Bowl win. The other one doesn't. But we're not over here making these concessions for Jalen Hurts. You know why? Why is Hurts? Why do we all universally agree, and it's okay to do this, that Purdy's better than Hurts? Why is that? It's not because he's been better in the playoffs. It's not because he has a Super Bowl. That can't be why. It's because he's better, and we just watch. We know. We can see it. It's the same thing with Herbert, man. Again, if Herbert crushes it in the playoffs, we're talking about a top 3 or 4 guy. But because he doesn't, he's consistently just outside the top 5 for that reason, and deservedly so. But him not winning in the playoffs does not then make him the 12th best quarterback. That's not the way this works. He's just a very good quarterback who has all the skills you want, protects the football, plays with his mind. Oddly enough, it's so funny because Herbert he has the physical skills to just be a guy who takes unnecessary risks, but he doesn't. He protects the ball at a high clip. He's very efficient, and he's got all the physical tools. And yeah, he sucks in the playoffs multiple times, which is why he's not elite. And I'm not selling you he's elite, but he's still better than the other guys. So unless we're putting Sam Darnold and Hurts firmly above Purdy, I don't want to hear the conversation. Just be consistent, man. Have they started? Yes, they have. It's beyond started. Unfortunately, the Chargers are whooping the 49ers arse right now. There's another pick by the Chargers defense. Oh, almost pick. Sorry. Not a pick. That's Stribling getting blanketed. Near pick. Stribling a couple times has had guys run routes for him, essentially. He did well in the red zone period, but left quad. Thought it was his ankle. That's not good. Yeah, but practice is almost over here, and the 49ers are getting kind of whooped, it sounds like. So that's what has happened so far, unfortunately. Lenore's overrated. Man can't play man worth-ish. I don't think he's overrated. I think in the NFL, man, he's pretty rated. I think he's like 18 to 22 in the corners, which I think is fair. The only reason I won't take quad over ankle is if it's the same quad that was already hurt. That's what worries me. Evans is indeed done for the day, but took the wrap off his foot and is watching the rest. He's moved the ice pack to his left quad. Okay. This is very different. Evans has also had an ice wrap on his left quad. Ankle wrap is now off. Okay. This to me sounds like he tweaked his ankle. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about this. Hopefully I'm right about this. Sounds to me like he tweaked his ankle. It's not bad enough to keep ice on it. He did have an injured quad. I don't know if it was his left quad, so I'm assuming he's just icing it for maintenance. If it was the same quad. So hopefully that's the case. And for the most part, he's okay. We'll see. Yeah, no, I agree. Quad hammy things for sure. For sure. John says, I think most would agree Herbert is better. Yeah. I don't know about that. They should. But Brock is good. Also agree. Yes. No problem with what you've said thus far. I would place Purdy top 10, win healthy. Not elite, but there are like 5 of those guys. I think at his best, I had him 9th, so I'm not completely against this. I think you've got probably 7 or so guys that are in the back 10 or just outside of it that you can make this argument for, that they could be in the top 10. And Purdy's certainly one of those guys. I agree with that. Yes. So Evans already has 2 injuries and it's still only preseason. Yeah, not good. Jesse, are we really doing this whole Herbert argument again? If you're so convinced he's the guy, why do you need further recognition? You seem to want recognition on your stance. I don't give a shit about recognition. I don't know if you know this, but the 49ers have a joint practice with the Chargers today. And there are posts like this all over the place. And so we're simply talking about practice. And so naturally, some people in the chat, some who paid, by the way, have brought up the conversation. And so I am doing what I should do as a host, which is oblige them to a certain point. I did say I wanted to stay away from the conversation because to me, it shouldn't be a debate. But when somebody pays, I'm going to talk about it. So that's what I owe the audience. But if you go back about 10 minutes, you'll hear me specifically say, I don't want to do this today. I've done this a million times. I don't think it should be a debate. I don't need recognition for anything. Don't feed the pots. Listen, man. Herbert. It's not even a debate for me. Listen, Jair Brown, man, that's I will say this is a bit of a concern when you think about it. So the 49ers offense has obviously been toasting the 49ers defense, that we know. And then we watched the Chargers do it today to the defense. So to me, it sounds like we got a lot of work to do defensively, unfortunately. The Chargers offense was missing 2 starting offensive linemen. I get Bosa's not in there. I understand all of that. But ultimately, the 49ers defense hasn't looked good, man. It hasn't looked good for a big chunk. You know what I mean? You'd have to chew out the DBs on the show. Listen, actually, probably tomorrow. I'll probably do a call in tomorrow around. Let's see. I got to host the NFC North at 6, and then we've got the NFC West at 8:30. I'll probably do a call in show around 7:15 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for about an hour. I think that's a good day. That's a good idea. Tomorrow, book it. Call in show 7:15ish tomorrow for an hour. I'll give you guys 60 minutes. I definitely want to see or hear your guys' takes for sure on everything that we've seen thus far. We're definitely doing a call-in show tomorrow for sure. Don't pretend like you didn't say. I can't wait to hear Grant, Larry, what they have to say after they've seen Herbert in person, because they say Brock is better. Don't pretend like you don't want to talk about it. Yeah, but I specifically said I'm going to bring it up on those shows. I'm doing a show with Grant and I'm doing a show with Larry, so we will talk about it. I'm talking about specifically here having that conversation. That was not at all the plan. But when somebody pays or it becomes a big part of the conversation in the chat, what am I going to do? Not talk about the things that the chat wants to talk about? That doesn't make any sense. I 100% said I'm bringing it up on 2 other shows. Yes, I did. That does not then mean that I'm trying to discuss it or make it the main talking point on this show. So, both things can be true. Hey, Jesse, will you admit Darnold is better than Purdy? No. I mean, the guy scores TDs against Seattle's defense in practice. All right, calm down. No, I'm not going that far. If he has another season better than Purdy, and I'm not talking about wins, but he's just better than Purdy this year, then I will concede that. But right now, I'm still taking Purdy over Darnold. 49ers defense and had its low moments against Justin Herbert, especially in goal-to-go periods. From what I saw, bright spot was Osa Odighizuwa, their one reliable pass rusher right now. One defensive standout, Osa Odighizuwa, half a dozen sacks if they were allowing those kinds of things. 49ers and Chargers are finished with a fight-free practice. Yes, this is good. It is good. We do have to keep in mind, though, that they lost their starting center after like the first or second play of practice. All right. So I think Osa's a beast, but they literally lost their starting center like 2 plays into practice. So keep running the tab. In the last 12-ish months, the Chargers starting left guard has thrown a defender into Rashawn Slater's knee, rupturing his patella tendon at the end of the season, thrown a defender into Joe Alt's ankle, ending his season, and thrown a defender into Tyler Biadash's knee, potentially effing up his season. Golly. Sounds like their left guard is an absolute menace who likes to injure people. That's not on purpose, of course, but there we go. Oh, there we go. Disappointing session for sure. So for those of you that were not here, here is the breakdown on the day. Here's the positives. Kalon Black returned to practice. Kalon Black, I'm going to pull this up here. Kalon Black returned to practice. Sounds like he looked pretty good for the most part. That's exactly what we needed to see. Me specifically, I talked about the 49ers run game. I needed to see that. I'm glad to hear that he's back and he's playing well. Let's see what else. Red zone periods on offense. Sounds like the 49ers are still doing very well there. Deshaun Stribling, Brock Purdy had a good red zone period. A couple touchdown passes to Stribling. That has been pretty consistent throughout the course of camp. That is good news. Some of the bad news. Oh, and really no injuries outside of Mike Evans with an ankle quad thing. We don't know exactly what's going on there, but he wasn't carted off or anything like that. So hopefully it's not serious. So that's a bit of bad news on the injury front. Outside of that, the 49ers defense looked awful today. Not only were they getting beat repeatedly deep, like a drum by Justin Herbert and that offense, Trey Lance also had 3 or 4 good throws. That's not ideal. But Amarion Hampton specifically was gashing the 49ers. It sounds like he put Jair Brown on his butt. Sounds like he put Jaden Duggar on his butt. And for me, one of the more frustrating things in that case is the 49ers came out as bullies against the Titans. They did not keep that same energy when it came to the Chargers. Sounds like they were the ones that got bullied a bit today. So that's a bit disappointing. There were 2 highlight plays that we saw where Deshaun Stribling in the irregular 11-on-11 periods had routes essentially ran for him. He couldn't get open on those particular plays. So that's not the best thing in the world. Brock threw an interception, almost had another one, and then Mac Jones threw an interception as well. So it sounds to me like the Chargers offense and defense won the day. I know for sure their offense whooped our defense. It looks like the defense had the edge on the 49ers offense as well. But we'll see what other people end up saying about that. It does sound to me, though, that the 49ers, much like they did to the Titans, the Chargers kind of did to them today. And that is a bit frustrating. Shanahan just said that week 1 for Mykel Williams is a long shot, although he is progressing well. He also said a number of starters will play on Thursday night. Okay. There we go. Whew. Hell of a camp day. You guys want to stick around for a little bit? You want me to play the press conference? You guys let me know. You want me to stick around for a little bit and play the press conference? All right, let's do it.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a ton. You know, Mike does a great job. What he does do is totally.
Hold on a second. Let me remove this. There we go. All right. Should be able to hear it.
Totally different when what they've always done in the past. I think it'll fit their personnel very well. And
you guys hear it okay?
For the quarterback.
All right. Let's go back to the beginning of Shanahan because there's going to be a break here anyway. So
we haven't ruled it out yet.
This is him. This is the very beginning.
But he's progressing very well.
You guys hear it?
That's been unfortunate for him because he had the same thing in OTAs, so he missed that, you know, and he hasn't been ready to go, so he hasn't really had it. And he did the first practice before we even got the team period, so okay. I know he's been extremely frustrated with it. We love the guys so far, but hopefully.
The question was about Christian Kirk, by the way.
Can have some better luck going forward here, so he can get some reps out here.
Kyle George said that Farrell's having a much better camp than last year, and he said that it's hard to sometimes learn this offense in 1 year. What are you seeing from Farrell in year 2?
I would totally agree. I think he's definitely a lot more confident just knowing what he's doing. I think when you go through a whole year, you know how to prepare for it, to me, a different way. And I think he came in at OTAs prepared at a different level, and it's carried right over to training camp, and I think he's having a hell of a camp.
How generally did you feel about how the offense performed? It looked like it was pretty competitive.
Yeah, I like.
Okay, so the questions are harder to hear. He was asked about Farrell and how he's picking up the offense. Sounds like he's picking it up well. That was Larry, by the way. Shout out Larry. Now he's asked about how the offense in general, I think, played today. It sounded like.
I liked it a little more at first. Didn't like it as much later. You know, I thought we struggled a little bit in the move the ball periods. Didn't score in 2 minutes. So there's some ups and downs, but I didn't really like how we finished today.
You did foreshadow last week that you wanted to get Carver Willis involved in the competition. How is that thing shaking out right now?
Now he's asking about Carver, being asked about Carver Willis and the competition. He said that they said the question was, you foreshadowed Carver Willis being a part of the competition last week. How's he shaking out?
It's still a competition. You know, no one's really completely made it easy on us yet. I still think we got a lot more time to go. Not a ton, but enough for guys to step up and do it. I think Carver, you know, missing that time has made him a little bit behind the 8 ball on it. But it's good that he's gotten a full week in and hopefully has no setbacks. So we can make that opinion here in about 2 weeks.
Before practice, Harbaugh kind of said a lot of nice complimentary things about you, and
and your program. Just from looking at his program from across the field, what stands out to you about Harbaugh?
Larry asked about Harbaugh and his program. He said that Harbaugh had some nice things to say about you and the 49ers program. What do you think about Harbaugh and his program?
Just how hard they work. I mean, you can tell. I liked how their whole team handled themselves. I mean, they weren't out here trying to cause anything. They were just out here to get to work, which usually starts with the head coach. Him being in San Francisco, there's a lot of guys in our building who speak really highly of him, and I got a lot of guys who used to work for me who now work for him who speak the same. So, hung around him a number of times, but I feel like I'm knowing him even better than that.
A couple more guys.
Watch the offense, but how much has McDaniel's presence been an influence on their offense?
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a ton.
I didn't really catch the question. Maybe she was asking about Mike McDaniel. I don't know.
Mike does a great job.
Yeah.
What he does do is totally different than what they've always done in the past. I think it'll fit their personnel very well, and I think it'll be a real good thing for the quarterback.
All right.
All right, that was it.
Guys, thanks.
That was it. Oh, here we go. Brock Purdy. We got Purdy.
Brock, what you think of the day today? How you guys did?
Brock, what did you think of the day today? How you guys did?
Honestly, I don't think it was our best day. I feel like fundamentals and stuff were just a little off and whatnot. I mean, obviously there was some good stuff, some stuff we need to work on, but I just feel like we could have came out with a little bit more chip on our shoulder. Offensively, I don't know how our defense did, but yeah, that's just overall thoughts.
Brock, I'll tell you how the defense did. They got mopped. All right, let's go.
Kalen Black is added, coming back from his injury. How's he added?
Kalen Black. Question about Kalen Black.
Yeah, I thought he looked good, hitting the hole and running hard. Like you could tell there's a different level of intensity when he touches the ball, and I'm excited to see what he does in live action too with, breaking tackles, hitting the gaps and stuff like that. But I thought, from the jump, KB came out running pretty hard, so I was excited to see him back.
That's part of the struggle, just kind of wide receivers that have been out of camp and looking at back and forth from injury.
Yeah, that's sort of part of it. I feel like I've dealt with that before. But yeah, obviously you want to have the same guys out in the field and whatnot, getting your chemistry down. But I think we've done a good job though of the next guy being up and ready and going in, and it's not too big for them. So that's how I feel about it. I love all of our receivers and stuff. I know we've had some grinders of some practices, last couple days and stuff. I don't know if that had any effect or whatever on them today, but it was one day at practice, and they're going to bounce back, and we're all going to be good. So.
You had a pass deflected on it, intercepted and stuff, almost like a throwaway pass. You've only had maybe 1 or 2 interceptions all camp. Is that like something that you went into camp? I want to cut down on interceptions.
They're asking him about camp interceptions. They said that you had a pass batted down today and you had an interception. You've only had, seems like 1 or 2 interception days before this. Is that something you consciously are trying to cut down on as camp interceptions?
I mean, my mindset is go in and try to execute every play. Obviously, you don't want to turn the ball over, but I just try to be efficient. Get into a habit of if it's not there, check the ball down, throw the ball away. I feel like I've done that at camp. Down there in the red zone, I don't know if I'm going to throw that ball in the game, but I wanted to try putting a tight ball on to Luke, and it was good coverage on the backside by the safety, and he just poked his hand out and popped the ball up. So that's practice, but I think it's also good work to see if I can get that done or not. So, yeah, that's sort of just been my mindset for camp.
You guys are working through the options at left guard. What have your just early impressions of Carver been since he's
Asking about the options at left guard, what his early impressions of Carver Willis have been?
got more opportunity here lately?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job with coming in, and there's a lot within our offensive run scheme and everything. So as a young guy to come in and learn that quick, it's a challenge. And so I think he's been able to handle it pretty well, and I know he's going to keep getting better with more reps. But any guy that is in front of me, man, I'm going to have their back, and I know they're going to give it their all for me. So I'm going to keep believing in him, working with him, and yeah, I got a lot of trust in him.
Before practice, Jim Harbaugh told us that he really wanted to meet you. Did he end up meeting you?
I haven't met him yet.
Before practice, Jim Harbaugh said he really wanted to meet you. Have you met up with him yet?
I might meet him after this, but yeah.
Defensive line seemed to have a good day at practice. You didn't see them this practice, but what have you seen from them thus far in practice?
Our defensive line. Yeah, man, I think, Coach Kerserek does a good job with just like their intensity, man. Like every play, they're going to shoot their gaps and you're going to feel them. And especially on the edges too, like I really got to step up in the pocket, against our guys. And they do a good job getting around the edge and also on the keepers and stuff. They're there in our face. Like you can just feel them every play. And it feels like they do a good job with rotating guys, and the next guy that comes in, they're going to bring it too. So I feel like that's obviously a huge part of a team, down in the trenches, man. If you have a good defensive line, you can go really far, and I believe we have that. So obviously we get Bosa back too. That's going to be good, and Michael Williams. So it's going to get even better.
Last one, guys.
Oh yeah, Osa is a baller. I think one of the more slept-on guys in the league. So I'm extremely excited that we have him, and every single play, like he's almost going to sack me. It feels like so. He's done a great job all camp. Thanks, guys.
All right, here we go. That was pretty. All right, here's Fred.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I didn't quite hear that. Sounds like said something along the lines of it was tough out there for the defense. What were you seeing out there? Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
hard to tell, when you're in the battle, right, what's exactly going on. You got to see the tape to really see what it looks like. But, anytime you get to go against another team, it's a great opportunity to see where you stand. And I always look forward to joint practices for that reason, right? So come out and be in a game-like setting against another opponent. So luckily it was a good test for us.
Osa seems to be getting a lot of pressure on the interior.
Yeah, Osa just seems like he just keeps getting better and better, right? I love the mindset, the tenacity, the physicality that he brings to the position and to our defense. We know how important it is to get pressure up front on the quarterback and in the run game. So I think Osa is just going to continue to get better as we keep going.
What kind of treatment do you have to do on your ankle as you get through camp here? Obviously, it doesn't look like it's bothering you, but just curious how that goes.
No, I mean, I can't tell you how thankful I am, honestly, of like just how it recovered, and I really don't have to think about it much. It doesn't require any extra after practice treatment or anything like that. I mean, God is amazing in that way that
He's talking about his leg.
I feel back to myself again, and I don't have to constantly be like, oh man, my leg's throbbing or something. It's honestly just regular football soreness at this point, and but when you don't play for over half a season, your body feels pretty fresh, and you just get to go out there and fly around.
You don't swim still, do you?
No, the swimming got to get put on hold for a little bit. Right now it's all about just ball. It was really helpful. Just the pumping the ankle when I was
Asking
unable
about
to walk,
swimming.
being able to get back in there and get the cardio in. I think that was a big reason for why I came back in the playoffs as quick as I did, in as good a shape as I was. Without the ability to really run and get my cardio that way. So I think the pool helped a ton.
From the first start of training camp, has there been a change in emphasis from punch outs? When one of your ball carriers is carrying the ball, or even doing a joint practice like this?
For me, no. I'm always, that's my emphasis every single play. Honestly, does every play have a punch out op? Not necessarily, but I'm gonna try to find it, where I can. And
So he's talking about punching the ball out. Sorry, I was just texting Grant, trying to figure out when we're going to go. It looks like we're going to go in about an hour and 15 minutes. So
something that I've just, me, over the years, I've just tried to practice it so much where it's not even a thought in my mind. It's just second nature at this point. And so
Fred did have a punch out again today against David Njoku. So he's getting really good at that peanut punch.
It's beyond the point of me trying to just get punch outs. It's like, how can I, be infectious to the rest of the team and have it on everybody's mind? And we talk about it, affecting the football in all different sorts of ways. But game on the line, got to have it moments, where we need to make a play. I try to definitely have it on my mind in those situations.
And the reason I asked is because first or a couple weeks ago, we were starting to say that's how Jordan James was injured with a punch out there.
He's talking about injuring his teammate on a punch out, is what I'm gathering.
That play specifically, I know there was like a clip that circulated with me and Jordan. That wasn't the play where he got hurt. It was just honestly just an unfortunate collision between Jordan and I when we didn't have pads on. It wasn't, me intentionally trying to go in and punch the ball out on him. It was just accidental.
Which of the young linebackers stood out to you in the game against the Titans?
Which of the young linebackers stood out to you against the Titans?
All of them. I think everybody had good things and things to work on throughout that game. We had 2 backers get sacks in that game, which is, you don't see that. You haven't seen that a lot from our group in the past. But to see young Larry get in there, get a sack, and then Tatum bulldoze a running back to get a sack. Doug did a lot of good things in that game as well. Wallow has been phenomenal all camp. He had a really good track tackle out in space. Nick Martin blowing people up, unreal. So there was a lot of guys that did a lot of good things. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but I liked what I saw from the group.
Fred, those young guys learn from you and Dre quite a bit. Do you find yourself trying to be a little bit more verbal in the meetings to try to kind of show them the way a little bit verbally?
Yeah, I speak up where I can, but
He's talking about him and Dre kind of being the leaders for the young
at the end
guys.
of the day, I try to lead by example more so than just by words. I think words are cheap. I think every day you got to go out there with something to prove. It doesn't matter what I've done in this league or what Dre's done in this league. I think what makes us great is just our hunger for the game and wanting to prove ourselves every single day. And I think that feeds, the rest of the group. It's a hungry group, and KJ's done a phenomenal job as our linebacker coach, and Johnny obviously overseeing stuff as well. So we all still got a lot to improve on, and I'm looking forward to just continue to be at our best for week 1.
Thanks, Fred.
Yep.
And there we go. There's Fred Warner. Still live. I don't know if anybody else is coming up. So yeah. So he had the ankle thing, Gav. It sounds like he moved the ice to his left quad. I assume that's for maintenance on the quad injury that existed prior to that. But I don't know that for sure. Oh, there we go. That's the end of the press. So there we go. Okay, let me remove this. So yeah, but him taking the ice off the ankle is good news, and I feel like the quad. I assume it was his left quad that was hurt before, and that would be more of a maintenance thing. So I'm hoping it's not that big of a deal. But there we go. Let's see. Oh, you guys are just fighting about the quarterback position. I love it. Goodness sakes. Guys just having a fight about it. Do we risk Evans in the preseason? No, I would say probably not. Oh my gosh, you guys. You guys are at it. All right. What questions you guys have? I'll stay on for a few more minutes. Grant and I are going to go at around 4:30 Eastern. So we'll be live around 4:30 Eastern. Got to get his thoughts, obviously, being there. We saw anybody that was here, you saw tons of highlights. Well, lowlights for the 49ers, highlights for the Chargers, unfortunately. It's funny. We did this the other day with our height and weight. We were throwing out height and weight. I don't know why or how that happened. It reminded me of Dan Patrick's show back in the day, where people would call in. And first thing they would say is their height and weight, and then they'd get the bell, the ding, ding, ding. Weird. I don't know how that happened. But it was pretty funny. Chargers look good. What makes you think they could struggle to make the playoffs? Well, first of all, they're in a tough division. I mean, the Broncos aren't going anywhere. They're good. They, thank you. Yeah, label it. Question for Jesse. I like this. I'm going to start. I'll be back to it in a second. They're in a tough division, number one. Chiefs, I got to imagine the Chiefs will bounce back to some extent. I think the Texans are a good team. You got the Texans, you got the Jaguars. That's two possible teams that could come out of that division. Bengals, that's two possible teams that could come out of that division. I haven't even mentioned the Steelers. They made it last year. Let's see who else. You got the Bills, you got the Patriots. So it's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think they're a lock to make the playoffs by any means. Okay. Question for Jesse. Do you think Great One is over 6 feet tall, and should we validate his opinion because he's short? No. Short kings do not have their opinion taken away. All right? Absolutely not. All right. This is how it starts, guys. Now we're doing height and weight. All right. Tell us height and weight, Jesse. I am 6'1" and 3/4. Not quite 6'2". Okay. What we learned is there's a lot of tall people that watch this. And depending on the time of day, anywhere from 205 to 210. Right now, I'm probably closer to 210. I've eaten a big meal today, drank a ton of liquids, but when I wake up, I'm about 205. So depends on how you want to do it. All right, here we go. 5'11", 213. I like this. This is good, man. For those of you that are fans of Dan Patrick, this is good. This is good. I love this. Yes, Evans is hurt again. Hopefully it's not too serious. I do like the height and weight thing. It's great. 6 feet, but I think Substation, listen, you're big. 6 foot, 175, 6'3", 280, 5'6", 169. That's very specific. Very specific, and I don't believe you. 5'10", 185, 6'4", 225, 5'2", 180. Oh, gosh. Six foot, 6'7", 167. Golly, you're scrawny. 6 foot, 182. Go Niners. Oh, 175. Okay. 6 foot, 175 for Niner Worldwide. 6'5" for Corey. We're saying our height and weight, guys. No estimation. 250 for Corey. 6'5", 250. You're a big boy, man. Not even like fat. You're just like kind of a brick house, brother. Good work. Question for Jesse. Do you think the coverage today is a result of Raheem Morris's scheme? I don't know about that. I don't, the safeties are, there's something to be desired there from the safeties. I'll say that. I'm sure some of it is schematic, but I don't think it's fully because of that. 6'4", 250, 5'5", 120. Lets us know that he's Asian. I didn't ask your race, but I appreciate you throwing it in there. Or your ethnic background. 6'3", 310. All right. I like this, dude. 6 foot in certain situations. 5'11", down to 190. JM. There we go. Losing weight, my guy. Sounds like you said down to, which means you're losing weight. I'm seriously 169.6 this morning. Drink water, probably 171 now. All right, fair enough. Hold on a second. Okay, so you weren't lying. Portland Raiders, what? You're right. 6'2" with my rivet head boots on. All right, so you're about what, 6 foot? Firm 6 foot. Solid 6 foot. Hey, Dave's tall, man. He's 6'7", 6'8"-ish. 6'7", 6'8"-ish. Chill out. Chill out. All right. Chill out. That's awesome. I love this height and weight thing. This is great. We might have to keep this going. We might have to keep it going. Supplements. Shoot, man. I take a bunch of them. I'm also older though. So I take a joint supplement. I take fiber daily. I take methylene blue. I take a metal detox. I take oh gosh, creatine. Definitely take creatine. Should be taking creatine. Everybody should be taking creatine. Women, I would say like 5 milligrams. Men 10. But creatine for sure. There's 2 other things that I take. Oh, nitric oxide. Big on nitric oxide. Especially if you're like lifting weights and stuff, working out a lot, you get pretty vascular. Nitric oxide is good for blood flow. So yeah, 5'7", 184. But there's a couple more that I take. But this is true. Eat less calories. It's all about being in a calorie deficit. High protein for sure. That was the key for me. Everything I ate for about a year was protein. Still is for the most part, mostly protein. And now I'm around 2,500 or so calories. 6'4", 250. About a year ago, I was 320. Damn, brother. 6'4", 250 is good. That's a good weight. You're not even overweight, I don't think. It depends on, I guess, maybe you could be slightly, but I feel like you could have a solid build at 6'4", 250. Going down from 320, man. Congratulations. Good job. Beef or chicken? Yeah, I prefer beef. It tastes better, in my opinion. But you know, 6'1", 260. I'm telling you, man, this chat, we got a lot of tall guys in here. Unfortunately, 200 of my 213 is my gut. Yeah, for sure. Beef. It's what's for dinner. Beef for taste, chicken for health, for sure. Yeah. But you got to have red meat too. You know, you do have to have some red meat in there. You certainly have got to have some red meat. So went to the Clark County Fair and my toddler's son is 2.5. He's already 3 foot. Dang, bro. Well, you're a big dude yourself. So big boys in this chat. I know I'm almost 6'2", like 205. And I'm one of the smaller people in here. 6'5" and a crisp 305. Yeah, a lot of, I mean, statistically speaking, to have this many people over 6 feet is impressive. Because what is it, like less than 10%? Oh, your kid's gonna be big. Your wife's 5'9" and you're like 6'5". Damn, bro. Damn. Yeah, my kid's got the genetics of someone who is just under 6'2" and someone who's about 5'3". So, but they're gonna be. I mean, shoot, my 13-year-old is. Let's see, he's 5'8.5". He wears a size 11.5 shoe. 13 years old, so he's pretty big too. And my youngest is actually trending to be taller than my oldest. He's about a half inch taller at this same age. So there you go. You got the strong bull. Sister strong like bull. Is that what you're saying? All right. 4'4" and 60 pounds. He said fun size. Oh, fun size. That's awesome. I'm going to use that. 6'2", 280. Sounds like every man and woman and children in this chat can kick my ass. Hey, man, just because you're big doesn't mean you're tough, all right? Just because you're big does not mean you are tough. So, there you go. I have not seen the Spider-Man. I've heard it's freaking amazing, but I don't watch Marvel movies. 57205, and I'm pretty sure I'd give most of you wedgies. Wedgie's such a funny thing to say, Jimmy, especially as an adult. I'm going to give you a wedgie. A wedgie is a funny thing to say as an adult. I'm not going to lie. That's hilarious. I'll play center. Sign me up. 1 year deal. I like it. I like it. Dynamite Dave. I give most of you wedgies. Oh gosh. That's great. That's great. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to be a purple nurple. That's also a good one. I'm going to take about an hour break. I got 3 more streams tonight. Next one is with Grant, though. About an hour. We'll be live here and on Grant's channel, so check it out. We're going to be going over training camp and the practice today. So give you about an hour break. Make sure you are back. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an episode. We are live in about an hour. Back with Grant. We'll talk soon. Much love. Peace.